Hello and welcome to the Growing Green podcast. Your host, Jeremiah Jennings, is the owner of Growing Green Landscapes in Birmingham, Alabama, and has a passion for growing the entrepreneurship community for those who are young in business. Being a business owner isn't easy, especially in the early years, and that's why in this show we dive into a wide range of topics covering all the challenges small business owners deal with. Even if your company is generating $1 million or more, the stories from our great guest and Jeremiah's own firsthand experiences will propel your business forward. And now, here's your host, Jeremiah Jennings.
What's going on, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in to episode today here on the Growing Green Podcast. It's your host, Jeremiah Jennings, and I'm pumped to come to you with another fresh new episode for your Wednesday. Hope you guys are well, having a great start to your week out there. And, buddy, I am excited to be here. Excited to talk to you about a few things we got going on this week and just some mindset things that I'm really taking into the new year with me. It is December if you're listening real time. It's still December if you're not listening real time when I'm recording this. But either way, I hope you are well. Hope you had a good year out there. I hope you've learned from some things this year. I think that's the most important thing we can take away. Even if you've had a rough year, even if you've had some ups and some downs, what have you learned? How do you take away, and how do you be better in the end? I've always said it's not a failure unless you don't learn from it. If you make the mistakes over and over and over again without any progress, that's when I would consider it potentially turning into more of a failure than anything else. I do not have it all figured out in business, in case you didn't know that. If you're new to the show, welcome. I'm Growing Green Landscapes. We are growing rapidly. We had a rough spring-ish summer this year, late spring, early summer. Personnel issues. We had underpriced accounts. We had some things that they were all pre-element accounts. I've been very open about that on the show. Go check it out. I've really documented the whole journey this entire season. So you want to hear what it looks like to add people, not have systems, not have processes, those things. Do that before you have it. And the chaos that ensues, go back and listen to pretty much this entire summer. And you can learn from my mistakes. That is why we do this, is to share the things that we're doing along the way. Hopefully keep you from making some of those same mistakes. I think some of them you will have to make on your own. But if you can avoid some of them, or the majority of them, then that would be a very, very good thing for you. But first, before I hop into it, like I said, let me finish my story real quick in case you are new. Growing Green Landscapes started in 2018. We're in year 7, going into year 8. It's going to be a fantastic 2026. We have big things on the horizon. We will end the year doing about $630,000 in revenue this year. We're shooting a budget of 1.3 next year with so that essentially puts us closing about $100,000 to $110,000 in work, $115,000 in work every single month. A little more than that, actually. But whatever that ends up being, 120, 130, something like that. Every month. And so we'll have a fat May and June usually. That's how it usually goes. May, June, July are usually our biggest months, and the rest kind of feed into that. January and February are usually slower here. We are pushing commercial maintenance hard. You're going to hear me talk about that a lot on our channel the next 6 months, just because that's where we're trying to grow in our market. That is what works, because all of our contracts here are 12 months. Some of you guys up north, they're only 8-month contracts or 10-month contracts because snow comes in the winter. It's a different ball game. But here, snow's not a factor, but it does get cold and it does get dormant. We are not as far south as Florida, as even though some of you may think that. We are not as far down as Florida, and so we do not stay mowing grass all year round. Now, there's a lot of properties where you can show up, customers want it blown off, things cleaned up. Like, if you get the right value offered to the right customer, then there's a good chance that you can stay working year round. But you got to find the right value, you got to find the right customer. If you don't find that, then you will be out of work for 3 months, because it does go dormant, leaves are all down. You clean those up, and then you're like, oh, what do we do? And so the benefit of getting these commercial accounts, 12 months here, is they want things blown off. They want things trimmed up. They want all the enhancements done over the winter. They want site checks regularly. You're still out there every single week or every other week at the most, because, or at the least, I guess you could say, because they want things looking good. So anyway, that's where we're at. We're on a big growth curve. Excited to take you all with us here this year. I want to talk to you about Element really quickly, though. I talked to it a couple weeks ago and actually had a couple guys message me like, hey, send me the info on that. I never want to sound salesy or pitchy or pushy or anything like that, but I do not take it and think that every single person listens to every single episode. So I do want to throw some of this in there more often than not, because this may be an episode that you're listening that you hadn't listened to before and you hadn't heard how Element has changed our future and our business journey. But it's been fantastic. Like I said, we had a lot of underpriced accounts. Those were all pre-Element. Everything we're pricing inside of Element is rock solid, and that comes from the help of an onboard specialist to get your budget set up with you, and then you take it and tweak it with your coaches and whoever you are using to mentor you along the way. That was a good sip of water. But they're going to help you along the way, perfect it, dial it in, fine-tune it. But, dude, it takes estimates from 2 hours on design build work down to 30 minutes on some design build work. It is really, really, you take Element, pair it with AI for scope of works and contract verbiage. It is just a game-changing tool for your business. It's very nominally priced for what you're getting out of it. You're going to pay $3,000 to $5,000 a year for it, a couple hundred bucks a month. You can get a starter for less than $300 a month. That's a starter plan. You can get the normal, I don't even know what it's called, I'm sorry, but the growth tier or whatever for like $550, $600 a month, I believe. Go Jeremiah will save you 10% off there with your onboard specialist. If you're interested, reach out. I will put you in touch with a 3-way email to the sales guy that will get you taken care of. He will get you set up, get you put in the system, show you a demo, show you how it all works. You won't have to be committed to anything. Just do a demo and check it all out, because the ability to be able to look at it all, see it all, and try it before you buy, like, that is a value there. And so you can get on there and try it and see what it's all about inside of your own account, or not your own account, but inside of a demo account, and see how it works for you. So anyway, it is a lot to take in, but this is the time of year to do it, especially if you are in a dormant market or a light snow market. You're not running 5 days a week doing snow. Take this time that we have, and please invest it into your future. It is an investment of money. It is an investment of time to onboard, but during that process, at the end of it, you will come out way, way, way better. And during the process is going to be tough. You're not going to want to do it every day, but it's going to be worth it. It took me about a full year to totally grasp Element to the extent of, like, I'm comfortable in here pretty much top to bottom. There's still things that I still ask for help on sometimes, but for the most part, I get it. I understand how it works, and it is an amazing, amazing tool for us. So anyway, with that said, I wanted to hop into a few things today, just talking mindset and the mindset that you carry into your day-to-day, and you being a leader. And this comes off the heels of, I highly recommend you to go to the Leanscaper podcast. Benji Carlson is the host there. I really have not known Benji too well over the years. I know he was at BTA. I don't know much about his past. I actually want to get him on the show. We just haven't lined up with it yet. But Benji hosts that show. He came over and joined Leanscaper back in the winter of 25 when they built out their team. And Leanscaper's been killing it all year, changing people's lives and businesses. I highly suggest you check that out, but I'm not going to talk about that right now. Leanscaper podcast, Benji hosts it, and he had a show with Dwayne Kerrigan. And Dwayne Kerrigan is a character. He's a very interesting human. He has owned like 36 businesses, I believe, in his life, and we're working to get him on the show as well. So he's owned like 36 businesses, tons of different industries. He's a serial entrepreneur. He's turned into like almost a little private VC now. He invests in small businesses. He owns them. He buys them, and then turns them and sells them as he fixes them up and improves them. But he's a really good conversation, and I got to talk to Dwayne at Equip for about an hour, sitting there with me and Caleb Allman and himself. Just a little roundtable discussion, literally around a round table. It was fantastic, and got to hear more about him and his story. And guys, just to tell you a little bit about Dwayne, just to incentivize you to go listen to the show a little more and tell you I'm not just blowing smoke up you. The dude traveled with Tony Robbins as his private security for years, 5-10 years, I believe. Like it was a while. It was a long time. Handpicked. Like Tony's like, I want you here. I'll give you what you want. You're coming with me. And that was a very cool thing to hear, and I think it was a very cool experience for him. He takes a lot of lessons away from it, and he has developed as a leader, I think, from it a ton. You're around somebody like Tony that much, you're going to become a good leader, I would imagine. But he doesn't even talk about that, by the way. That's not his claim to fame by any stretch. You have to, like, get into conversation with him and ask and pry for him to even give that information up. But he doesn't just go around gloating, I was Tony Robbins' private security, Like, no, that's not the dude. So, fantastic episode. And they talked about sales, operations, mindset. Vision was a big discussion in that conversation. And I want to have Dwayne on because I want to pry into a few things that he and Benji talked about that I want to go a little further into on our show. So, we're going to try to make that happen. Please go listen to the show. It's in 45 minutes to an hour. I don't remember. I listened to every word, and I'm going to listen to it again because I couldn't even really take it all in the first time. It was a fantastic conversation, and we've talked about vision on this show a lot. I've talked about vision and selling it for the employees and what that looks like for me. And transparently, and this I was kind of glad to hear Dwayne talk about this, is that vision is not something that everybody is always really, really good at and clear at. And just having a vision that just comes to my mind and is ultra clear is something that I have not always had. And it's not something that I really am necessarily good at. It takes work. It takes work for me to sit and think and really kind of cast that and see that 5 to 10 years of what that looks like. How do we get here type mentality to show our employees. And I've been very open about that. The statement that Mark has made that really impacted my life, and I think the way that our business will go forever and my life will go forever is your vision has to be so big that every employee in your company's vision fits inside of it if you want them to stay long term. And so I just want you to think about that when you go into the next year of 2026 coming up. And let me get this as well. Let me just go ahead and pop this in here. This is free, by the way. Do not wait to 2026 to start doing things that you want to do. Things you want to change, habits you want to make. Don't wait till 2026 to start doing that. Why would you waste a month of your life? You got a month. It's December the 3rd when I'm recording this real time. Why would you waste your time, 30 days, 27 days? Why would you do that? Start now. Our landscape company, we're searching for 12-month contracts, right? We run on a 12-month calendar. So things that I want to do next year, quote-unquote next year, implement in Q1, I'm implementing now. We don't wait till January to start those things. Start now. So when I say if these are things you want to do in 20, start now, right? Start now. If these are conversations we're having, we're going to have a lot of these, like, start of the year conversations, planning, budget, all those things that go into the beginning of the year. Don't wait till January 1. Start now. So if you're going to talk about vision and you're going to try to share your vision with your employees, and I'll call this guy out, right? I know he would appreciate a call out, and I know that in a sense of like accountability, not fame, but in a sense of accountability, Lucas Blumling. Lucas has taken his company over the last 3 years and grown it from him and a truck and 2 guys, maybe, I think is when we first met. And he is now running upwards of $1 million in revenue. He's landed some very large contracts. He's added new equipment to his fleet. He's added great employees. I was literally standing, this is a funny story. We were at LAL, and I was standing I came out of the elevator onto our floor to go home or go to bed for the night. And it was late, I don't know, 9, 10 o'clock. Him, Caleb Allman, and these other 2 dudes were standing in the hallway talking. And I came in there, and I was just razzing, giving them a hard time. And these 2 dudes were standing there talking about listening to Caleb's podcast or something. And I was like, this is the guy you put in, like, you listen to this guy, you put this guy in yours all day, you just giving Caleb a hard time and going back and forth with these dudes. And I didn't know these guys. I thought these dudes were just other owners that were there on the floor talking, right? Like they were staying in the same floor, hotel, they're there for LAL, and they're there to go to businesses, right? They were just standing there talking. I had no clue who they are. They made friends with Lucas or whatever at the show. Well, we go through that, and I'm pretty sure we go through that whole conversation. We go to bed for the night, and I wake up the next day, and I find out who they are. The two dudes standing there were Lucas's employees. Like, that's the team that he's built. He had guys there that were so well dressed and so well spoken and so well presented. I thought they owned businesses. It was Lucas's lead guy. And I was giving him such a hard time. And I was like, no way, that's freaking awesome. Like that he's your lead guy? Like, that's amazing. But Lucas, you know what that means, right? Like, you know what that requires of you to be an amazing leader of leaders. And that guy, forgive me, I don't remember his name. You got to take that guy and turn him into something great, which means you have to turn yourself into something great, which means you have a lot of work to put in, right? And that is going to everyone out there listening to this show that turns it on and has people under them. And I hate the word under, too, working alongside them, right? They are equals. Everyone in my business is an equal. You're coming in here, we're going to learn and we're going to grow. And you're just as much part of the story as I am. You're not under me. But if you want to cast that vision, right, so you have those people on your staff, think how good your vision has to be, how clear it has to be to get real buy-in from someone like that who has that mentality of, hey, I am an owner, but I'm working inside of a company. That requires a lot. That requires a lot of personal growth, personal development. You cannot just willy-nilly around and goof off and hope they stick it out for the long run and build a mediocre company. Won't happen. Gone. Promise. Will not happen. So you all need to do a checkup from the neck up, right, in your brain and say, who do I have? Do I like the people that I have? Are they bought into our company? And if they are, how do we talk? What kind of conversations are we having? How am I helping them see our future, and how are we actually implementing it to achieve it? And that's Jeremiah talking to Jeremiah as well. These are conversations that we are having behind closed doors. We had this conversation 2 days ago. Like, we had an hour and a half leadership discussion on what the next year looks like, clear ownership of roles, where we're lacking, what things need to get fixed, where our focus needs to be. And I'll tell you where our focus is client quality and experience. And, I've struggled with quality for a while. I've struggled with the word quality. I felt like that's what we were lacking. On some things. But it came to me in that meeting the other day on Monday that was not the case. It wasn't quality that we were lacking in. Maybe some things here and there, little stuff. We're doing good quality work. The thing that I'm not thrilled about is the experience that we're offering our customers. That's where I want to drastically improve. And we had a very long conversation about what that looks like. How do we do that? Is it, better communication, better documentation, updates throughout the project, keeping job sites clean, going extra steps where we can to provide such a good experience that it's remembered and thought about for a long time, and they organically share our business. And I think that will speak louder than anything else. And I told that to my guys. I was like, look, this is our priority. We are hammering down on this. We have a lot of other things figured out. We have good systems for estimation. We have systems for getting the project scope to the guys. Like, now we have to make sure we implement and do those things well. But we have the process built. We just have to actually do it. The experience portion is where we're going. Because if we can provide a top world-class experience, and let me walk that back, not world-class, because that's not where we're going with our company. We're not going high-end, multi-million-dollar design build work. That's not what we're doing. If we can provide a top-tier experience with very minimal headaches, very minimal hiccups, but extremely good communication and things like that. Extremely good finished product. If we can do that, that's how we take market. That's how we have such good work that we never are searching. Clients come to us. The experience speaks for itself. The experience sells itself. And if we can do those things well, it's game over for everyone else. So think about that as you go into the new year. What can I do to up my experience for my clients? And get into Leanscaper, guys. Get into Leanscaper. Get in these calls. Mark preaches client experience all of the time. But I'm still learning that. I'm still learning how to do it well. So think about it. You let me know what you take away from the show, how you learn, how you get better. If there's any way that I can help you guys, please reach out and let me know. Short little Wednesday show here, but I think this one is packed of value. I am very passionate about these things. You can tell I've just been hot and heavy from the moment we started. Take it, run it, apply it, do something with it, and you'll see major changes in your future. Reach out and let me know if I can ever help. Thanks for tuning in. Without any further ado, guys, that's going to wrap this one up. We'll catch you here on the next one. See you, folks.
Thanks for tuning in to the Growing Green podcast. It is an honor to have you listening, and we hope you receive valuable advice to help take your business to the next level. Don't forget to follow the podcast so you'll be notified when our next episode drops.